During October and November 1987, a team of robbers carried out a series of raids on shops in South London. On the 21st of October, they got away with £77 from Broomfield's Bakery in Rotherhithe. On the 3rd of November, £730 from Broomfield's Bakery in Southwark. On the 10th of November, they stole £370 from Morden Videos in Surrey. And on the 11th of November, £1,662 from Orton's Pharmacy in Mitcham. On the 22nd of November, they robbed the Star Service Station, Bermondsey, of cash and cigarettes valued at £320. The flying squad were called in.
Obviously, we're talking to the culmination of Operation Admiral, which most of us have been on for the last couple of weeks.
By the beginning of December, the flying squad have found out from an informant the identity of the team suspected of committing the series of robberies.
We've identified two of the men, Upstill and Griffiths, but there's still one man outstanding. We don't know who he is, although we believe he's from the Rotherhithe area. Upstill's van, last week, was parked outside his address. I think, Ian, you saw it down there. His address has been identified, as has Griffiths. What we want to do tomorrow morning is nick both Upstill and Griffiths. With Griffiths, we're told through an informant that there may be a large quantity of stolen property hidden at his address. We're hoping there may be a firearm, a pistol, although there is some suggestion that a sawn-off shotgun has been used. Vehicle, which is at Upstill's address, I'd like brought into Carter Street Police Station, along with both prisoners. I think basically that runs through it. We've identified, we believe, they've done about 10 robberies. We've managed to identify about 5 or 6 of them. On all those robberies, cash has been stolen. They do have Form 4 violence, although I don't anticipate any in the morning. I think it's a point to bear in mind that there is a handgun or a shotgun in existence. And the warrants are under Section 8 of PACE, which affords us immediate entry to the premises.
That's nice, isn't it?
They should have scored at least 3. They had difficulty.
They scored all the 3 goals, the people are in the ground. Mr. Mullet is now going in there at turnstiles twice to try and...
Lily Lawrence's quote is that we're going for the league title as opposed to these tuppenny-halfpenny cups.
I'm not at my best this morning.
We don't have good liaison with the council.
It's basically a door opener, Bob. You put that between the frame and the door and you just push it down and it springs it.
And absolutely nothing happens.
That's all right, you just bash the door. Just bash the door.
One team of flying squad officers has gone to arrest Upstill at his home in Mitcham. Others go to Griffiths' address in Southwark.
Is it not both sides?
Probably. Your turn. What's the glove?
Tim, it's in the back of our car.
Little shit's probably down Upstill's.
I guess it doesn't want to go in. That's why it's not moving.
Sorry, so you open the balcony, mate?
That's why it's not moving at the top.
Here, mate, if you're in there, open the door, it's the police.
Ready?
Do the window.
Do the window.
Do the window, we'll undo the bolt.
Right, ready?
Yeah. It is early in the morning.
But there's a bottom bolt on there.
Just open it.
There we go. Push it, Pat. Going in.
Does that need to go back to the reshine? We've got to do that. Do that.
John Griffiths?
Yeah.
Mr. John Griffiths, we're police officers. Got a warrant to search your address, mate. I'm DC Melody from the Flying Squad at Tower Bridge. These are my colleagues. You're under arrest for armed robbery. You don't have to say anything unless you want to. Whatever you say will be taken down in writing and maybe given in evidence. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I'm not...
Show me.
OK, mate. Yeah.
We're just going to run before we go. Have you got any bulbs anywhere, John?
No, I've got no electric, mate.
Haven't you?
No.
God, blimey.
Did you hear us knocking?
What are we going to do, mate?
Stand up. John, come away from there and stand over there.
I'm a fag.
In the second, you will. After...
That's a search warrant, mate. We're searching for firearms, hammer and a cash. Because I believe that you're concerned in armed robberies where those instruments are being used and the property stolen is cash. Do you understand that?
Yeah, search. I don't know. Fuck's it, other robbers. Come on.
Oh, I'll look at them. What's that, mate?
Oh, I don't know. It's been in there.
It's been in there, is it? Let's take it. We're taking that with us, all right?
Yeah, no.
And the gloves? And the socks?
Oh, I've got socks all over.
Yeah.
There's loads over there.
Yeah.
What's in there, John? Besides,
John, have a look.
Besides water.
No, nothing.
Yeah, that's fine. When we last in trouble, John?
85.
85.
How much more of this room we got to do, Dave?
Just overhead.
That's it. That's it done, is it?
Right, what we're going to do now, we're going to take you to the police squad. I'm going to hold your arm because you're under arrest. Do you appreciate it?
Yeah, all right, yeah.
All right, mate.
So will someone do me door?
Yeah, we'll get you all that
we'll
sorted
get it
out
out.
for you.
All right?
Yeah, thanks.
Do you want to come back to me?
Huh?
Do you want to come back to me?
Try and open the door. Open the door. We've recovered a hammer in a yellow bag. We believe, from the observations we've kept, that that could well be the one of the weapons used by the robbers. We've also got a helmet. I don't know if you saw. We got a black balaclava helmet. When we were following them, we saw them preparing to put masks on to do a chemist shop in Dockhead. I mean, I'm not saying that is the mask they were using to put on, but it could be. Obviously, we won't know that until we interview the man when we get back to Carter Street Police Station.
So you're pretty sure this is the right bloke?
I'm confident it's the right man. I think the case is building up against him at the moment. But we'll have to see with the interviews, the other evidence from the other address that's being searched at the moment. We'll have a debrief when we get back to Carter Street so we know fully what's going on.
No gun was found during the search of the flat.
Right, so I'm Detective Constable Melody from the Flying Squad at Tower Bridge Police Station. This is Mr. John Griffiths. He was arrested by me this morning at 7:25 a.m. from his home address. He's been brought in here because we believe he's committed a number of armed robberies on M District, maybe L District, and certainly V District. That's why he's been brought in here this morning. We've recovered a number of items from his address, a hammer in an orange bag and a balaclava.
Who's the officer in the case?
I'll be the officer in the case. Melody, it's Patrick Melody.
Okay. Do you want me to call you a solicitor?
Well, I don't know. Am I going to need one or what?
You're certainly going to be interviewed about the offence.
Well, I'll leave it to you, don't I? Leave it
It's a matter for you. But at this stage, I'll tell you that I would request that you be denied access to a solicitor in view that there is a firearm outstanding, there's a large amount of cash we believe outstanding, and there's other prisoners outstanding. And at this stage, I would be making a request of our superintendent that you be denied access to a solicitor.
Whenever, you know.
Well,
I've got nothing to say to your citizens. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Well, you've heard our application. That's what we're saying. At this stage, we are denying you access to a solicitor if consent from our chief superintendent is given. Okay?
Yeah.
You're saying that you wish a solicitor to be present. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, if you've got anything to ask me, yeah.
Right.
do you want me to call you any particular solicitor? Or
Yeah, yeah.
Which one do you want?
David's Hansies, West London.
After his arrest in Mitcham, Edward Upstill is also brought to Carter Street Police Station in Camberwell.
Although you don't really want me to tell anyone that you're here at the moment, you're going to be held incommunicado, which means without anyone being told you're here for the meantime, because we believe there's property that may be recovered which is outstanding from offences. That's the authority of the senior officer at the police station here. In the meantime, we'll put you down in the cell, and you'll be down to speak to you shortly, let you know what's going to happen. See you very shortly. Thanks a lot. Right, well, listen carefully. While you're here, you've got certain rights. You'll have someone informed of your arrest. You can consult a solicitor and consult a copy of the codes of practice.
Unexpectedly, a third man, Andrew Whitworth, was arrested with Upstill in Mitcham.
That's a bit I've read to you. An explanation of all those rights is on these forms, which are yours. First of all, would you like to sign to say that I've given you those copies of your rights? It's that box there.
Who was that in the back of the van?
What are you looking for, Ken?
No, this was the van we followed around. I just wanted to make sure, for my own benefit, that this was definitely the van, and it is. Yeah.
So how do things stand now?
I think it's coming together. I mean, we've got the van back. We've got the lump of wood that we saw on the surveillance operation. Well, they certainly picked up a lump of wood and put it in the back of the van when they're preparing to do a robbery, and sure enough, in the back of the van, the officers have found a lump of wood. So, yeah, I think it's coming together.
If we can just go over what we've all done as a team this morning so far, we can deal with the Mitcham address first, with the two prisoners being brought in from there.
Well, what happened was that the van was outside number 4 on the driveway. We went to number 16 with the warrant, saw Edward Upstill. We searched the premises and a jacket similar to those seen in the past was found. It's got a hood which is concealed in the collar, big black stripe down the sleeve. He was arrested for the robberies.
Excuse me, what do you do here?
He was arrested for the robberies, asked about the van downstairs, and immediately said it belongs to Andy, who lives downstairs. Claims he can't drive, admits to being in the van in the past. We haven't gone into the details of the robberies. So having got him out the way, we went downstairs, knocked on the door of number 4.
Did you find anything in there, Bob? Just
Only the jacket.
only the jacket, I guess.
Nothing else. Andy Whitworth lives downstairs, and he admits to being the owner of the vehicle, the regular driver of the vehicle, and he was the driver as of about a fortnight ago. In that little expedition round Rotherhithe, he was driving the van on that occasion.
21 Tanner's house. Unfortunately, the bolt was on the inside. We knocked on quite loudly and eventually had to gain entry by smashing the door in, basically. We went upstairs and I think Dave went up, and I think genuinely the bloke was sound asleep, like dead. In his house we found an orange bag containing a hammer, which we think was used on the 19th when they went round to the chemist and other premises. And we've also found a balaclava, sort of type mask, which could have been used again on the 19th. He was arrested. He said nothing at the time, and obviously he's in here. So that's the bottom line on John Griffiths. Me and Pat will interview him very shortly, and hopefully we'll also do Upstill. Ian Gordon knows Whitworth, and so I think John and Iggy, if you can do Whitworth, and me and Pat will do Griffiths and Upstill.
Jeff Martin is the scenes of crime officer. He searches for forensic evidence.
Any finger marks? Obviously, we want to see who's been in this vehicle. Fortunately, a vehicle like this, it's very dirty, dusty inside, not in pristine condition, so it makes our job slightly more difficult. Chances of getting any marks off this vehicle, unfortunately, the state it's in, are going to be difficult.
Detective Inspector Mullet, the senior officer, waits in the canteen while DC Blackman interviews Upstill.
He wants to talk to us. He's going to sign them and then get back into Griffiths. They're going to sit down and have a chat how many they want to admit.
Yes. So, have you spoken to John?
Yes.
Yeah, we're happy on that.
We think he's the fourth man. He's the one who's been out doing the arresting.
Oh, I see.
Because we just hit Upstill with Brooker.
Yeah.
And he went,
Yeah, sweet. What about the gun?
he reckons no gun. So what we're going to do is roll the gun out.
Yeah.
He said it was a hammer, wrapped up in a bag. He said we done that, and he said I don't know what they thought it was.
So, but we've still got somebody outstanding.
We've still got a knife and someone outstanding.
So, when is John? You're finished, Pro Tem, at the moment,
We're just interviewing Upstill. We're just starting to interview Upstill.
and then will we have a trio?
And then we'll have a trio for the Malden, and then we'll have everyone be interviewed. And then what we can do is get back into them regarding Pacific's fire. Right, so that's it.
Yeah, the position is... Colin? Oh, he's gone.
Detective Sergeant Stratford has interviewed Whitworth.
I mean, have you more or less finished him?
No, the position is he admits the robbery at the video shop on the 10th of November, saying that he drove them there, knowing that they were going to commit a robbery. The most relevant thing to come out of it, conversation in the car on the way back. John Griffiths says to Ted, the woman said, "Why rob me? I've got nothing." And he said, "Well, that's the reason we're robbing you, because we got nothing." And they went back. He got £33 out of 300. So I said, "Well, they must have had you over." And he said, "Well, that's about right." A cut-price driver.
Yeah.
And he says he drove them on 5 further days. One day in particular, they went to Essex, looking at 2 special places to attack. They weren't suitable. No occasion did he see any weapons, any guns or any knives.
Upstill agrees to take the squad to his home to show them the hammer he used disguised as a firearm. As they arrive at the flat, they meet Upstill's wife.
Right, Tracy?
Yeah.
The kids in here?
No, still up.
Yes, from
Just wait.
this step is on. I'll have a word.
Trace, listen.
He is going to be charged later with some robberies. He will stay in custody overnight at Carter Street Police Station, and tomorrow morning he'll be appearing at court. Now, it will be Camberwell.
It's not worth you coming. Just say to my mum, Teddy said, will you be prepared to stand ashore? Because I'll be perfect better.
Mum wouldn't even get in touch with Susan.
Oh, she said.
She told me she never got the number. I went up there.
No, she ain't got the number to me, Big.
No, I went up Baldwin.
Baldwin, I mean, yeah. Just say, Teddy said, will you be prepared to stand ashore tomorrow?
What we're coming here for is an item which Ted's left behind.
Upstill retrieves the hammer from under the stairs.
Where's the bag?
I ain't got the actual one. I can get a bag, but I just...
No, that's all we wanted. All right.
All right?
Okay.
Oh, take them and give them to my mum. That way if you lose yours, you've got to save them.
Okay. Right, Chase. See you later. Bye-bye.
See you later, Trey.
See you later.
Hello. Oh, good afternoon. Is Mr. Nelson here, please? Oh, it's Inspector Malik from the fire department in Albridge.
Yeah. Yeah. Community service, 100 hours, yeah.
Clive, listen, I'm in Carl Street, right? I've been in here since about 7:30 this morning. Right, listen, they're charging me with 5 robberies, right? Yeah, me and Ted and another fella, right? But I'm appearing at Camberwell in the morning, 10 o'clock, right?
Investigations into a fourth man who had originally been suspected were dropped through lack of evidence.
Make sure my door's okay. Yeah, make sure it's boarded up or whatever, because I ain't been there since 7:30 this morning, see?
Is that the hammer you used? I take it, from what your explanation earlier, that was wrapped in a plastic bag. And what end was showing? I got it held it like that. You understand you're still under caution anyway, don't you? You don't have to say anything you don't want. Can you tell me how many robberies you used the hammer on?
Chemist. And the video shop.
Chemist and video shop.
Thirdly, on Tuesday the 10th of November of this year at Morden Videos, 20 Abbotsbury Road, Morden, Surrey, you robbed Gina Nicholson of £370 cash. That's also contrary to Section 8 of the Theft Act. And then lastly, on diverse dates between the 19th of November 1987 and the 1st of December of 1987 within the jurisdiction of the Central Criminal Court, you conspired together to commit armed robbery on various premises, i.e. betting shops, chemists and booking offices. And that's together with Edward Upstill. That's contrary to Section 5 of the Criminal Law Act of 1977 as amended by Section 1 of the Criminal Terms Act of 1981. If you want to say anything in answer to any of those charges, you don't have to. What you say may be taken down and given in evidence in court.
No.
Both Upstill and Griffiths have admitted 5 armed robberies and conspiring to rob on the day that we followed them. Mr. Whitworth has admitted being involved in 1 armed robbery and the conspiracy. So, yeah, I'm happy to, yeah, without a doubt. I think it's been successful.
Had these 3 been more experienced, would they have been tougher to crack?
Yes, without a doubt. Yes, I think they're inexperienced robbers. This is the first time they've been out robbing. But these are the sort of people who graduate from hammers and knives to firearms.
I accept they're not big league villains as such, but they are the people who will ultimately cause serious injury to members of the public.
On the 27th of May, 1988, at the Inner London Crown Court, Andrew Whitworth pleaded guilty to 1 charge of robbery and was sentenced to 4 months youth custody. Edward Upstill pleaded guilty to 5 charges of robbery and was sentenced to 4.5 years imprisonment. John Griffiths pleaded not guilty, claiming that his previous admissions of guilt had been obtained under police duress. He was found not guilty on all charges and discharged.